Sorry, my friends, the foundry is closed for an undefined amount of time. We do regret any inconvenience this may cause.
Meister Castle told us that your Cyclops workers have taken over the foundry.
The Cyclopses have gone mad. They've killed a few of our foremen, and the gears of the foundry have stopped. We spotted goblin agitators inside as well. And if that wasn't enough, the fire elementals that power our furnaces have gotten loose.
I need to ask you a few questions before I go inside.
Of course, anything. Just ask.
Do you have any idea why your workers would take over the foundry?
The Night Foreman? The man in charge when this uprising began? I'm afraid he's dead. All our efforts have gone into evacuating the wounded and making sure the Cyclopses don't escape into the city. We're short on facts.
These goblin agitators you mentioned, do you know who hired them, or what their plan is?
They wore no official heraldry and made no statements of allegiance. We give tours of the foundry. I'm sure that's how they got in. The Cyclopses haven't killed them, so for all we know, they're working together. Perhaps they incited this madness.
How exactly did these Cyclopses get into the foundry in the first place?
Oh, they've been here for years. And in all this time, they've tirelessly tended the foundry without complaint or commotion. This caught us all by surprise. One moment they were working peacefully, the next, wanton violence.
We're ready to help. What would you have us do?
Our attempts to parley have ended in bloodshed. You'll need to pacify them by force. I don't want the Cyclopses eliminated. I just want them to go back to work. So find their leader and humble him. The sooner the foundry is back in operation, the better. If you can restart any of the gear works below, that would also be a great help.
So you are the ones who fight for the Ironmonger dogs. This foundry is ours now. We'll never be slaves again. No more. Why do you fight us? What have we done to you?
The other Cyclopses attacked us on sight. We had to defend ourselves.
You took the side of the bosses. You want to enslave us, to make us work without pay, just like the paper says.
What paper are you talking about?
An old man gave the paper to me. He called it a manifesto. He said we deserve a better life. We have the right to refuse to work, to demand better pay.
If you tell your brothers to stand down, we'll talk to Meister Castle.
I will trust you to go to the Ironmongers, to decide how best to end this fight. It is only by your mercy that we live. We will accept whatever judgments you make.
Perhaps we should go and have a word with our Meister Castle, yes?
Surely you must be joking, Meister Fiddlewick. I shall not reward the slaying of my guild members with salaries and contracts. If these beasts weren't vital to the operation of the Foundry, I'd charge every one of them with murder, and they could all go to the gallows.
Funny that you mention legal action. Last I recall, slavery was a criminal offense in Stonebridge. Shall we take this matter to the courts?
The Cyclops has agreed to stop fighting if I speak to you on their behalf.
You... what? What nonsense is this?
Meister Castle is an endless font of courtesy and grace. Go ahead. Thank the Legion for saving your lives.
Yes, thank you for ending the violence. But what do you mean you speak for them? Those beasts are making demands?
The Cyclopses have a manifesto of demands. They want better treatment from now on.
A manifesto? What kind of nonsense is that?
I should not call it nonsense if it shut down your foundry and incited a rebellion. The Cyclops said an old man gave it to him.
An old man? The dapper old gent, no doubt. When Wolf hears about this, he's going to give me the "I told you so" of a lifetime.
Why would the dapper old gent care about the Foundry?
The whole economy of Stonebridge rests on the power of the foundries, churning gears, and the cheap metal goods that our forges provide.
The economy of Stonebridge hinges on its workers, not your machines. But yes, the Foundry is a crucial part of our supply chain.
The Foundry needs to reopen one way or another. I speak for the Cyclopses, so whatever I say, they will honor.
Well then, something good came of all this violence. My good Legionnaire, tell the Cyclopses that they may resume work as salaried employees.
Shut your goblin spout. They agreed long ago to servitude as payment for their crimes. They cannot just ignore a contract.
Meister Fiddlewick, you clearly favor the Cyclopses. I'd like to hear your side of the argument.
For years, this city has flourished, largely at the expense of the Cyclopses, slaving away in the Foundry. Castle used you. He told you the Cyclopses had gone mad so you would enforce his profit margin. Why do you think he lied to you? There is nothing subtle about my argument. The Cyclopses are thinking, reasoning beings and should not be slaves to any man or goblin.
Meister Castle, you said the Cyclopses agreed to servitude?
Years ago, long before the Legion fell, a tribe of Cyclopses wandered down from the mountains and raided the town. At great cost, the people of Stonebridge bested them. Their chieftain agreed to a lifetime of servitude to spare his people from the noose. Yes, I profit from their work, but so does the whole city. A contract is a contract. We can't ignore rules and laws, not even old ones.
I've heard enough. I'm ready to decide.
My hands are tied. The Cyclopses will listen to you and you alone now that you've beaten them. I pray you make the right choice.
And I, for one, respect the old tradition of letting the Legion be the mediators of best resort. I know you will choose rightly.
The Cyclopses acted in self-defense. They must be given fair wages and treated with respect.
What? Nonsense! The Cyclopses are bound by an agreement. If you wanted my vote, you just lost it. Bah! Tell them I will negotiate their wages. This decision is foolish, but I won't have the Cyclopses leave. The city needs them.
He'll calm down eventually. But you have my thanks, and I pledge my vote to you when the time comes.
Terribly sorry. Meister Castle has insisted that we have no further dealings with the Legion. Castle believes you capitulated to the demands of thugs. But I am grateful for your help. More of our colleagues would surely have died if not for you.
We fixed the gears as well as we could. The Foundry is impressive when it comes to life.
True. The whole city relies on the power of our furnaces and gears. Here is a little something for your trouble.
Did you find my men? Are they all right?
Yes, they're safe.
They are? Hazanai bless you, and all the saints as well. I wish I had more to reward you with, but this is all I can give.
I didn't help you for a reward, but if you mentioned this to Castle, we'd appreciate it.
Your generosity knows no bounds, my friend. I'll tell Castle, and I'll raise a glass in your honor next time I'm drinking with my mates.
Ah, good. I thought I'd find you here. I heard the Legion was back in town, and I've been scampering to get my old notes in order. You see, I've been archiving the history of the 10th Legion in Stonebridge. A sad history, to be sure, but my research can help you.
Go on. What kind of research do you mean?
I've studied the event of the local Legion's demise, the riots. I've kept track of many looters and killers that profited on that day. Some who looted the chapter house proudly displayed their ill-gotten gains, showing off stolen Legion property to house guests. Such arrogance. Well, I have kept track of these pompous criminals, especially the ones who insisted they'd be buried with their trophies.
You spent all this time investigating the Legion's rightful properties. We're in your debt. Where are these artifacts?
I, for one, respect what the Legion did for our kingdom. I'm just doing my part to honor their memory. I've assembled a list of graves that should contain stolen property. Problem is, the crypts have become too dangerous of late. Here, take my notes. Unless the thieves have started looting coffins at random, you should be able to recover the stolen items.